to Misscliks D&D Nimmorgeist, where we have been part of yet another death in the Waterside Downs. What's happening, Stephen?
You guys are leading a riot through the city, is what's happening. So hang on.
Kill the fatty!
Kill the fatty! Yeah, everybody's cheering,
Yeah.
kill the fatty.
But not like all fatties, just this
Yeah,
particular
just this
fatty.
particular one fatty.
Yes.
Kill this particular one fatty who's also the Archdeacon of 10th.
Yes.
He was not only fatty, he was like morbidly corpulent.
Yes.
Kill the morbidly obese guy on top of
Yeah.
the pile
This
of gold.
one, we have
And
nothing
then
against
collect the gold and give
other
it to us.
Yes.
physically endowed people.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
we were just talking in the break. One of you had mentioned that you definitely totally looted the body
Totally looted the body.
of Rafik.
Yes.
All he has is like a rope tied around his waist, and there's like a tiny leather pouch on it. And inside the tiny leather pouch is a tiny vellum scroll with like a quick scrawl of like a couple random streets of the Waterside District. And there's a red X marked on one of them.
Ooh.
If I give it to her, is it better for her to have something like that?
It looks like this.
Well, as an
Yeah,
urchin?
I think so.
Okay.
You would
Okay.
be able to like totally.
So yeah, I would definitely take the map and give it to Bo. So Bo has
Ooh, no, I want to go
Waterside
there.
Downs.
But we're leading a charge, a riot. Traffic.
Rafik's map.
I'm drawing you an actual map.
Nice.
In the meantime, I can give a recap of what's happening. So, not really our friend, but the leader of the Fanatics, Rafik, has been stirring up all sorts of trouble, but just as a fanatic, the way fanatics do, you know, making sure that everyone is impassioned with the cause of their god, Magthud. Yes. And someone we knew from before, Thenry, who makes his residence with the Bright Companions, well, or at least is working for the Bright Companions in the Hangingberg, found himself down there and challenged Rafik to combat and killed him. And now we have told the rest of the fanatics in the crowd that was probably related to the Archdeacon of 10th, who we have decided is our mortal enemy because he...
Because you decided you wanted to kill him.
Well, mostly because he, for Tabitha, because he recruits and then mistreats thousands and thousands of young people trying to make them carry his solid gold palanquin and then basically killing them. Don't like it.
That's
And
not
then
an issue.
there
for
are
me.
a couple of other people who also hate him for being a prominent religious figure.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Yep. So here's the scroll that you get off of Rafik.
Ooh, what does it mean?
It's a little, each of these is like a little street or a little intersection.
All right.
So yeah.
Well, let's see what this mob is up to.
So we just got to the wall of the feast halls, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And you're heading in. Now, like,
We're in the feast halls.
you guys are sort of starting to realize that these guys are just going to go wherever is the easiest for them to go, and they're just going to like they're not a targeted group of soldiers or anything like that. And you know that the Archdeacon of 10th is pretty well protected wherever he goes. So, like, you're starting to think, what can we do to help make sure these guys have a clear path? So, what can you? Like, you sort of are all starting to, like, drift back into the body of the mob and, like, all talking to each other. Hey, where are we going? What's our plan? So what is your
Because
plan?
we're gonna have to go through another district like that, so we we know nothing about feast halls and why they would hate the Temple Row people.
Well, he recruits young people from all over the city, and the bereft parents are probably going to be mad, just like they were in the Waterside Downs. So if we can just keep adding to our mob, just
Insider riot
yeah,
and feast halls against him.
keep telling them that we're going to end his tyranny and it's time to protect the children. And
We could I could go first and find the path, and then the Hawk could like always follow us or something.
Sure.
The Hawk.
So you're gonna try to scout ahead
Stephen Hawking.
to find a good Stephen Hawk. Stephen Hawk is gonna scout ahead with you, like
Yeah.
keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
And then
Because I can communicate telepathically.
And I'm
so
gonna
it can
use
tell
my
me- Yeah.
stealth and like
Nice.
urchin CT
Yeah.
secrets
to
to not
get
like
through.
cause any problem with like in the slum because there's beasts
Yeah.
everywhere, not only the rats.
I love how you're like the most dominant feature of your background is that you were an urchin as a child and you're like 80 years old now. Like, that's what really stuck with you over
Yep.
the years.
So I continued developing it. You know? It's
Yeah.
a big part of
You
me.
used those skills.
If we're doing that, then I say to the party that we should be doing the same thing we were doing in wherever we just
I
were,
would
Waterside
actually-
Downs, and telling the people,
Yeah.
spreading the lies, and
So people we passed on the streets were like, "Come help us take down that wicked archdeacon."
And I mean, with a mob of like 1,000 people, it's pretty like
We're not at 1,000 right
we're
now.
at like
We're at
100.
100.
100 people. It's still a lot of people. You would feel like you want to rally and not be like, oh, I'll question them. I'm not too sure about that 100 people convinced.
Because
Yeah.
people would definitely be like looking out windows or like sticking there
Yep,
and be like, "What's
absolutely.
going on?"
So you're like
You're like,
marching
"Did you
through the
hear? Did
entrance
you
of the
hear?"
feast halls now.
What's his
You're
name?
like,
Oh, I would know the
Azad.
feast halls.
And they would
What's that?
know.
You would know it?
Azuna,
Yeah,
right?
I would know the feast hall
No.
pretty well because I was.
It has nothing to do with the feast.
It was
hall.
where the sex cult
Yeah, but
was.
they
That's
distribute the
true.
liquor to the
Right.
entire
We can
city.
recruit the sex
But they don't
cult.
know that he's behind it.
But
No,
we're
we can't
pretty
because it's a
secret.
hermitage.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Um,
the Waterside Downs just know who he is.
Yeah,
I
'cause
see.
he's
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would,
so
I
if-
would know it a little bit.
if you went ahead with Bo, then like I would give Bo advantage
Oh,
on
I
her.
can
What
go
are you
with you.
saying?
Because
she
that's
knows
where
the
my
feast.
sex cult was.
So she knows
knows.
the feast
She
halls
knows
a little
the
bit.
feast
So I'll
halls.
go with you.
Okay.
Okay, so
Let's go, honey.
you can roll a survival check to see
Okay.
if you're able
The
to
sex
like
cult is from
recommend some good
Interesting.
paths to help get out ahead of the crowd, so you guys can find a way forwards.
16
Okay, so Bo,
plus 1, 17.
you have advantage on your survival check to get through the feast halls.
Ooh,
20.
Natural?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, awesome. You find like a side passageway, and like it jogs off to the right, and there's a parallel tunnel that's like here. Draw a location card, and we'll see where you are.
You find someone who's like, hey, you want to know
What
where
is
the
it?
archdeacon is?
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, I don't
Queen.
know.
Queen of Clubs.
Queen of...
Oh, cool. Yeah, you guys end up like jogging to the side and then like progressing parallel, and you enter into like a large like cistern that's like some ancient sewer pipe or something like that. And there's a massive borehole that descends deep into the center of the earth in the middle of this large room. And there's a low moaning sound that's echoing out of the borehole. Just-
There's a serpent in. No, that's
What the hell? And you know where we are? Or what's going on?
She knows that this is a nice quick shortcut to get out ahead of the crowd.
Okay.
So you guys managed to make your way around the edge of this thing, like on a narrow ledge that goes all the way around. And then you cut back, and you've made it a way out ahead of the crowd, and you're able to get through the feast halls. So
And then
Let's-
we can send the Auk and he's gonna.
yeah.
Okay.
So let's find out what is going on with Brielle and Tabitha back with the crowd of rioters.
We're just trying to get more followers from the feast.
Yeah, I would say that we're
the
hanging.
cards
We're
are-
hanging like on either side, kind of the mob, and like as we see people like, "Come join us! Come join!"
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't like the cards.
No,
Sometimes we do. Sometimes it gives us a nice man with a bowl on his head to help us make
I
pies.
still don't like it. It's still too risky. The
I
risk
don't
reward
trust
is very
you
low.
people.
The risk reward is very low.
Okay. One of you two.
Oh, God.
Just one.
8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds. Yeah. Each of you give me your perception DCs.
Oh, God.
What's your...
Um,
Damn.
Go!
What is it?
20.
12.
Oh, phew.
12. You rolled
20.
a 20.
12 plus. Well, 12 is my passive. Wisdom,
so it's
perception.
+2. So you got a 22, but you also completely crit.
What
So
do
you're
you-
out.
Wait, what's going on?
I see.
You're rolling a
everything.
perception check.
But she just got a 20, so...
I'm confused.
I see all.
What did you get for your perception?
Oh, 8.
Okay. So you're like out ahead of the group, just kind of like marching ahead.
I guess
Um,
it's 11, right? It's 11.
Yes.
yes.
She got 20.
Yeah, because you got that +3, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 11.
So you realize that you're coming to like what looks like a fairly well-constructed like section of the feast halls, where there's like a bunch of nice sort of Greco-Roman abodes cut into the walls of stone. There's like a bunch of like blue globes that are glowing with like alchemical light that are lighting the underside of this. And up ahead you see like a narrow and tall gate with two little houses on each side, and you recognize it basically as a security checkpoint. So like you see a couple of guys standing around with like crossbows and blackjacks at their belts. How are the two of you gonna try to get past this? This is what's slowing them down while you guys are sneaking
There's only
away
2
ahead.
guys?
Yeah,
So, I mean,
that you can see, but
Join us.
they've got some heavy
Yeah,
weaponry.
I try to convince them to join us and just like come up and like, fellow warriors, fight for justice alongside us as we take down the Archdeacon of 10th, he who spits upon the young lives of our children and sits his corpulent butt upon the wealth of our city. Take him down!
Awesome.
Ah!
That was
getting-
quite impassioned. Would you make a persuade check?
Watch it be like nothing.
I'm hiding and
2.
watching.
No, -1, so 1.
Hiding?
I'm hiding nearby in case they attack
Okay.
Tabitha.
I keep trying to persuade when really you should be the one
Yeah.
to persuade.
Give me a hide check. Okay.
Oh no,
do
you
I
should
do
have
that?
joined
Stealth.
in when she failed the roll. Wait, can I give her my inspiration? Let's go.
Yes.
Oh.
19!
Hey!
So 18, because it's -1.
-1.
Yeah.
Wow, holy crap.
Do you want me to still roll?
Yeah, so like do roll.
17.
17. Yeah, you're like super well hidden. It's nice. It's nice and dark in here, and there's all sorts of like rubble along the sides. It's just been sort of shoved to the side, so you're like crawling across this rubble. Yeah, so these guys, they've got like a big like sewn on patch on their leather jerkin that's like a stylized huge like grub worm.
Ooh.
Like a pale grub. And the guy says, yeah, the pale grubs like a fight, right?
Right.
And this was our idea in the first place, right? And then
Right,
he turns to the other guy, and the other guy's like, yeah. And let's see what he says.
And I'm like, yes, what a good idea. I shall follow you as you take down the Archdeacon of 10th, you intelligent and capable men.
yeah.
Gather your followers.
He says, yeah. Mundo's always hated the Archdeacon of 10th. This will really put the Pale Grubs on the map, see?
Mundos?
Mundo.
Mundo.
Mundo. What does it say again?
Yeah, Mundo will love this plan. He'll love
We
it.
love Mundo.
He looks at you and says, you don't know Mundo.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got excited. I heard great things about Mundo.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, you guys like,
Sorry.
Tabitha, you just use this completely silver tongue that's just completely uncharacteristic of
Right.
you. Pour honey in this guy's ears, and then all of a sudden he thinks it's his idea, and he's going to go
Yes.
lead the group to the temple district.
Which is just what I want, because all I want is to fight for entertainment. I don't want to take responsibility for this coup. So I've been trying to push someone else in front of us. Like, yeah, it was your idea.
Are you starting a cheer like Mundo, Mundo,
Yeah,
Mundo?
No.
Okay,
Pale
great.
Grubs.
Pale Grubs, Pale Grubs.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
How many more do we get? Can they go? Can I ask one of them to go get the rest of their guys if they're
Oh,
like a
yeah,
crew?
no, like-
or they'll do that.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
like the guy, the leader that was talking to you, he starts leading the group forwards, and then the other guy that you were keeping an eye on heads off in another direction to go like grab others.
Nice. I like the
So-
Pale Grubs.
Yeah.
Bo and Lady Vivian. What's your last name now?
No
hat.
No hat. No hat. No hat. Good.
I like that we're chanting everything now.
Yeah, you guys. First, you end up moving through.
No, not the cards.
Oh, nice.
We're fearless.
Yeah, you descend into like a lower level of the feast halls in order to like cut your way under everything and get through to over towards
One of
the
those was
temple
open.
district. So you make your way through a sodden, murky pool. There's water dripping in continually from above, and there's like strange fleshy pods that are affixed to the walls at the water line. You move through there, no problem. You end up moving through like an underground shanty town with huts built out of cloth. There's like clotheslines strung. The entire space is lit by like greasy fires that are pouring smoke that just like hangs up on the ceiling of this
Fun.
enclosed underground cavern. Let's see if you run into any difficulties.
No, not the cards.
Not the
Here,
cards.
you've made your
Not the
way
cards.
almost all
No
the way
cards,
through
they're
the
new
feast hall.
lessons.
You've made-
Okay, we'll get more followers.
You've made your way almost
We
all
make
the way
our
through the
own
feast halls
club.
without getting into any trouble. Like, you know, there's people around everywhere you go. And like, you know, buying, selling, trading. Like, you're passing stores and shops and stuff. Jen, 1 card. Actually, do you want to try and avoid stuff?
What does that mean?
Like, if you want to try and like find other avenues, if you're trying to like move a little slower and definitely avoid trouble.
Well, we definitely don't want trouble, and as long as we're before the group so we can lead them to the correct path, I think we would
Okay,
really
So-
avoid.
So do I...
roll a survival check.
I'm disappointed. I love picking a card.
Oh, you'll get to pick a card.
Oh, 6, 7.
Oh, the fail.
Okay, pick 2 cards.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Okay, King of Diamonds and 8 of Diamonds. The worst of these happens. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you are like towards the end of this shanty town, and there's like another sort of ancient house that's collapsed into the floor, and it's sitting at a weird angle, and it's got 2 stories, and there's like a balcony on the top supported by a couple columns across the bottom, and it's got like a big banner saying "Grand Opening, Meat Pies," and then like in smaller letters. There's writing at the end that says "and haircuts," and there's
It's blocking the street?
it's not blocking the street; it's on the side. But there's a large crowd outside. There's a woman who's like walking around with meat pies, saying, "Delicious pies! Would you like to try a pie?"
No.
And then there's like a man
more pie.
standing
No, there-
dourly, standing by the door, sort of scowling, and he's just sort of muttering to himself. And there's like a large crowd sort of gathered
This is
to
where they
see
are?
the spectacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like nobody's actually really going for the pies.
I don't think
You're not there.
you're referencing something that I know, but I'm not there, so I'm gonna stop talking. I'm sorry.
I guess.
And you say it's not blocking the street?
No, I mean there's a crowd. You'd have to move through the crowd, but yeah, you could just pass it by.
I would pass by.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would try to just pass by.
Yeah, you walk past all of these people. One of them steps forwards and starts trying the
I
pie.
hold my
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Okay,
Seeing him
you
do
put
that,
your
I'm
hands
like,
on the belt pouches, like. Okay, you walk through, no problem. You hear from behind you, the people are like, "Oh, these pies are really delicious. Yeah, I'll have 3. I'll have 5.
Gross.
Yeah. You break out into the open air of the Temple Row.
Oh, we did it.
Okay.
You emerge from the underground of the feast halls.
Oh, I know what it is.
It was human
Yeah,
pie?
I saw that.
But-
Yeah.
But like,
How do you know that? That's not
From-
necessarily human pie. What an accusation
But
to
the
make.
haircuts.
Meat pies and haircuts.
Yeah.
What?
Slide down the rail.
Nah.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Impossible. So, yeah. As soon as you step out, like the light is just blinding to both of you because you've been in the like very, very dim light of the underground of the feast halls for like 3 hours, making your way out ahead. But because of how efficient you were at moving through the underground, you're way ahead of the rioters. So your eyes like all the trees are like super blurred out, and all of the crumbled stone architecture of the temple district is all like blurred out, and then your eyes sort of focus in the light, and you see like dozens of blackened shapes flying through the air, and all of a sudden your ears attune themselves to the sound of citizens just like shrieking, "Ah! Help, help!"
Temple rose under attack.
And there's like dozens of night ghasts just flocking through the air, like swooping down,
Freaking night gas,
grabbing
man.
up a person and then like ripping their throat out, and there's
Holy
like
shit.
blood that rains down and a body falls and it just cracks on the ground next to you, splat. And that's what you see. Let's find out what's happening with the rioters.
I'm so tired of night gas.
I mean, we can
night
make good
gas.
pie out of it.
That's true.
So,
it was good. wasn't it?
yeah, by now, like a bunch of other members of the Pale Grubs have joined. So there's like a front line of like this gang that they've all got like
Nice.
a pale white cloth tied around their upper thigh, and this patch that's like a weird little pale grub shape on their tunics. Their leader has been talking to Tabitha a little bit. He introduces himself
nice.
as, I need a new set of names.
How old is he? Roll for ethnos. Let's go.
His name is Tane.
9.
He's not hot. He's a 9. He's got a 9 charisma.
He's not ugly, but he's not hot.
Yep. You know, he's actually kind of ugly, but he's got a little bit of force of personality, so that's why he's able to like get all these pals to help him out. But overall, the effect is not terribly impressive. So he says his name is Tane, and he's one of the lieutenants of the Pale Grubs.
Tane.
And yeah, he says, "Hoy, Tabitha, I've got an idea."
Yes?
Also have that accent.
Why are you talking so funny?
Is my hawk? Are they more than 100 feet
Oh
away?
yeah, they're definitely more than 100
Okay.
feet away.
So I'll just basically, when I get within range, I'll kind of be able to tell.
Yep. Okay. What do you do to this guy? He like comes up and he like puts his arm around your shoulder. He's like, "Oi."
So we're buddies now?
Yeah.
All right. Do tell, Sonny.
There's a shortcut up ahead. If we cut through a fissure in the rock, we'll get out in the Temple District 20 minutes earlier than if we actually followed the main thoroughfare.
That the Fisherman's Rock? There's no fisherman down here.
Fisherman's Rock? What are you, woman, deaf? Gods!
What?
Gods! I said, are you deaf?
What?
Ah, you're deaf.
I step in and I say yes.
He says to you, he's like, "Well,
Well, hard of hearing.
I can barely see you. You're all black." You
Thanks.
just shrug.
Thanks.
All right, you said shortcut though, right? I like shortcuts.
Yeah, I've got a shortcut. It's right up ahead. It's if we take a left through the fissure in the rock.
I feel confident taking 100 people with us through a shortcut.
Yes.
Yeah, like a couple of the Pale Grubs just sort of like look at each other and nod, and then like a couple head off ahead, and then like they sort of set up like a little like barricade of people pushing the crowd towards the fissure in the rock.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, Pale Grubs, Pale Grubs, Pale Grubs.
The crowd starts chanting, "Pale Grubs, Pale Grubs."
How big
Pale
is the
Grubs."
crowd now?
There's like
It's growing still, right?
Because it was
we've been
100
adding
when
more
we
people.
got into
before.
the
yeah,
place.
it's
And then we convinced the
147 people large.
Nice. We're
Yeah,
all
so there's
walking
like
to our-
a river of people like flowing
That's
through
very
these
cool.
spaces. You turn left down into this
They're
fissure.
all gonna get eaten by night gas.
So are you. You're the ones in the nightcast world.
Yeah, but like I don't
You
know.
never know. You never know.
Taking people through a shortcut, like, you can easily disperse a crowd. Let's just say that.
It's a shame Bo isn't here to offer his expert opinion. It's only Tabitha and Brielle who are taking the shortcut.
As long as there's combat, I don't care. 8 of clubs.
8 of clubs.
Clubs.
8 of sclubs. Okay,
that was the real word.
Clubs.
Okay, yeah. So you end up coming down into like a river, sort of underground. Like it's like 2 feet deep, and everybody's like wading through it. And like they're all singing songs and like super excited. They're like, down with the Archdeacon of 10th. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah. And you end up opening out into a large sodden, murky pool. There's water dripping in continually from the ceiling. There's all these weird fleshy pods along the sides.
Fleshy pods.
Yeah, it's actually like the audience and we know it's actually the same space that the two of
Yeah.
you navigated through.
Yeah.
They're actually going in a different direction, sort of cross quarters, and where like the camera sort of pans and it like looks directly in the direction that you two left,
Oh no.
and then you guys come going crossways, not going in the direction of the Temple District at
course.
all, but rather somewhere else.
Do either of us have any idea, like, the lay of the land? Have any sense of direction?
You guys are
I
like
thought the point of the Ark was that something like that would not happen.
The Hawk's with you.
the Hawk's far away.
No, but the point was just that the Ark would do like back and forth and
Yeah.
make sure you guys
I
would
thought
follow.
we had said the Hawk.
Yeah, but
we
you
were
guys
following
decided
their
to
path.
take the
Man.
shortcut.
Tane,
Well,
the
he told
lieutenant
me
of
I
the
lost
Pale
vision.
Grubs, he was like,
No, but the point was
Okay,
just
so I asked Bryn, I say, does this look like the right direction to you? Looking at
That's
your
true.
hawk.
I was watching. the
roll a
Hawk,
survival check.
Oh. Wait, I give you my inspiration. Oh my gosh, Stephanie.
Oh.
she wrote
Yay!
2 ones.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. Brielle is like, yeah, this is the best direction. It's definitely where we want to go.
But she can look through the eyes of her hawk, so she would have been able
it's
to.
more
Not
than
anymore.
100
No.
feet.
Yeah, it's too far
Right.
away.
All right, well,
Okay, so
Shit.
like the river sort of flows out down like a little bit of rapids, and then it goes off to the side and down like a cliff in the underground blackness. And the only light now is all of these torches that everybody's carrying, and they're all kind of like pale grubs, pale grubs, pale grubs. Like, everybody's starting to wonder where they are, and Tane is like, right, it's just this way. It's just 5 minutes further. It's gonna be great. You guys are gonna love this shortcut. And
do I start to get suspicious at all? Because
I don't know. Do you? Now that everybody's dying down a little bit, and he's like, this is gonna be a great shortcut. Do you want to roll insight?
yeah,
Okay.
I've never seen anyone in the history of any storytelling. Let's take this shortcut. It's gonna be awesome. And then it's like, yay! We
And then it really was a super shortcut.
Well,
I don't
we
know what
did,
my
we
insight
didn't
would be.
succeed
Wisdom?
at the shortcut.
We didn't. We
Oh,
knew
2,
though.
so 8.
You got an 8. You believe him. Tane is a great guy. He put his arm around.
The Pale Grubs are my buds now.
Yeah,
I'm starting to
they are
adopt
your
them.
buds.
That's
Yeah.
why we accepted the help.
Totally. So, like they
Our
follow
job.
along.
Jacksons, you're not here.
Yeah.
Stop judging.
You guys aren't here. You
You're
guys
not
are
here.
like
They're
fighting
Very
some
charismatic
night
Australian-sounding guys.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of you go like deeper and deeper into the earth along this like narrow ledge that's over top of an underground precipice, and you can like hear things like slimy things slithering down below. And finally, you open into a huge,
You're gonna
large
fucking see
cavern,
the brain,
and there's
that's what's
like
gonna happen.
big red fires burning around at all of the edges. And Tane steps out in front of the crowd. He says, "All right, everybody stop!" And everybody stops. Everybody quiets down. He says, "Right, the Pale Grubs are in charge here in the feast halls, and not these black cats." And like all of the Pale Grubs who are with you, there's like 20 of them spread throughout the crowd. They're all like, "Yeah, down with the black cats!" And all of the crowd's like, "Yeah!" And everybody cheers. And he's like, "So we're gonna go kill them! Yeah!"
Who's the
How
black
does the
cats?
crowd react to that?
They're all cheering. Like,
Okay.
they just want to riot and murder a whole bunch of people.
They're
So
using us to
Who's
kill
the
their
black cat?
rivals. Their rival in the city.
you are
Yeah.
pretty spot on. So like, there's all these big red fires and all of these like teepee-like huts in this underground area. There's a couple of people who are like poking out. There's like a woman holding a baby and like a dude who's like a really old dude with a really white beard that looks like big and bushy and noble. He's like, "Hey."
Is this
I
their
poke
people or is
Bryn
this
and I'm
who we're
like-
gonna kill?
These are the black cats.
I'm like, Bryn, you have to stand up on my shoulders and tell everyone that our real enemy is the Archdeacon of 10th and try to get the black cats to join us all.
I'm gonna try and do what she just said.
Okay.
20.
Oh, she's the war leader! Thank you.
Okay. So like you
I'm holding her up on
you
my
get her
shoulders.
up on the shoulders, and Brielle starts like making a
Listen
speech.
up, everybody!
Give us a speech, Brielle.
I did what I'm just kidding. I stand on her shoulders and I say, what are they called?
Black cats and white
And
pale
pale
grubs.
grubs.
Pale Grubs, listen. You know the enemy is really the 10th. He's the guy we need to take down. He's the one who's killing your people. The Archdeacon. We need to unite. Just like you did with us from Waterside Downs.
Yes, like Waterside Downs.
We need to unite. We need to bring everyone together and take on the 10th.
Together,
Who's
take
with
on the
me?
10th. Take on the 10th.
So like a
Real
bunch
life,
of
I'm
people
not that
cheer at this,
persuasive.
and the sound quiets down, and Tane says, "Oh,
I put my arm around him and snuggle into his side. I'm like, isn't she a good girl?
He
Let's
says-
go kill the Archdeacon of Trent.
he says, God, I never thought of it that way. We should all go kill that old limey bastard.
Yeah,
He steals all our children,
all the children.
Yes.
black cats and pale grubs alike."
United.
And then like the old man with the big bushy beard, he like hobbles out and throws off his cloak, and he's got like 2 huge great axes, and his arms are like bulging with like old man muscles.
like, "Ah,
and he holds them up, and he has no teeth, and he's like, "Hey, kill the Archdeacon!"
Yay!
So everybody just roars off.
As he says that,
Do we
I
get
run
more
up and I
black cats
wait.
Yes.
Tabitha
So,
runs up and kisses him on his big toothless face and says,
Wow.
"Kill the Archdeacon."
okay, give me a charisma check.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I kissed the.
Now you're up
toothless
to
old man.
183
14
people.
plus. What's my charisma? Oh, -1, so 13.
13. Okay, well, yeah, he's a little bit like, whoa, oh, that was unexpected, but yep, it's nice to meet you.
Kill the Archdeacon! And then I run away.
My name's Balda.
Balda?
Yeah.
We have 183 people now.
Balda of
That's
the...
so random. The rolls are just great. It's like the 20 saving the fucking day.
That was pretty critical.
That was amazing.
So,
we keep saving
We
the
were
day.
gonna lose our mom.
Instead of losing
I
our
couldn't
mom,
let you
we
down.
made our mom bigger.
so
I'm so happy.
it actually was a shortcut.
oh.
And you burst out, like with your crowd of 183 people following behind you, like directly across the plaza from Lady Vivienne and Beau, who burst out at like almost exactly the same time.
Nice.
Your
What?
eyes adjust to
Sick.
the light. There's night ghasts flying through the air. The
So is it
screams
very
of
bright out here?
citizenry. Yes.
Okay,
it
so
is.
I am always looking for shadows.
It's actually especially bright out
Yeah.
here. Okay, cool. So you're trying to stick to the
Yeah.
shadows.
I have to.
There's like all sorts of ancient ruined buildings in this section of town, so you can sort of be following like through buildings alongside.
My
of
hawk
the
is
group.
with them still
Okay.
full time.
Cool. And now you've returned within 100 feet of your hawk.
Yeah.
And like, you know, a night guest flies through the air, rips the throat out of a person, blood goes everywhere, it drops the corpse on the ground. And
How many night guests do we see?
Too many to count.
let's see.
We don't care
I
about
want my
life
face
ones.
cage.
38.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
You know, just quick random glance here. Cool. That's where we'll end this episode.
Oh my
man.
god. Oh my goodness.
Oh
All right,
my
guys,
gosh.
if you want to see what happens to our heroes and their mob of delightful, angry warriors, tune in next time and follow us at Misscliks for updates.